I'm telling you, when you get in the boat, you make a commitment. It doesn't matter if the gale comes. It doesn't matter if the winds and the waves come. It doesn't matter if the storm comes. Just keep rowing.
You need to be more disciplined about your minds.
Right? What do people need to be thinking about with their minds?
So here's the deal. You're already in pain. Get a reward for it. Why would you let them destroy your life?
Let's go.
Why would you let them own you? Why would you allow that thing they did to hurt you now define the rest of your life?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I was in pain. It's real, but get a reward for it. Don't just think about you. Listen to me, like, I didn't give up. That's what I'm saying to everybody. We all go through pain. Some of us go through pain and it becomes our tombstone. Some of us go through pain and it's a scar. And we live a life of reward. So I'm just gonna say, again, 2025, do me a favor, check you. So you're in the ballot box and you're looking at all these options, doctor, lawyer, teacher, whatever you see, president, mayor, governor, do me a favor. Before you check off any of that, S&P 500, real estate, before you check any of that, check you.
Yeah.
Before you check anything, check you and go look yourself in the mirror and go, yo, I'm my lottery ticket. You gotta figure out who you are and love you and feel good about you and not care what nobody think about you. Figure out your North Star and wake up every single day going after your North Star. It's like, you gotta figure out what makes you happy. You have to find the thing that wakes you up at 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Like, you gotta find the thing that brings the life out of you, the joy out of you, the happiness out of you. And you can't do that following somebody else's North Star. So my last one would be, man, figure out what you was put on this earth to do. And I mean, every single chance you have to do it. Do it, and when you're not doing it, enjoy your life. So however much time I have left, I need to work hard and I need to enjoy that time.
Absolutely. Do you think anyone can have a beautiful, amazing life if they live in a blaming mindset?
No. You know why? Because what I didn't realize as a young adult is that when you say it's somebody else, whether you mean to do it or not, you give them the keys to your life.
You give them power over you.
They got your whole life in their hand. Because you said it. They didn't do this, and because they got the keys. Now, I'll be honest, the reason why we don't want to take the keys, because we got to drive. We got to drive. And I told you, today I was like, I got too much to do. I normally drive. I'm like, I got too much to do. And it felt good to be in the car driven. While it's more responsibility, it's more freedom. It's more independence. Anybody could be successful. But as long as you're playing the blame game, you have given permission, the license, registration, the keys, you give it all over to somebody else. And the day you take it is the day that you can start deciding which direction you want to go.
Wow. So it sounds like step one, take the keys back to your life.
Take the keys back.
What would steps 2 and 3 be for setting people up for their ultimate life?
Step 2, be your first best friend. You know, like, get to know you. We're so busy wanting to be in a community that we don't realize we are a community. Because all of us think we have to have somebody to be somebody. So I just think the first step after the first step is you got to figure out who you are and love you and feel good about you and show up in the ring, you, and not care what nobody think about you. And I just think if the Eagles aren't trying to, they just are, they not trying. Lions aren't, what do you think about me? What do you think about my roar? You think I'm too loud when I roar? They're not concerned. And so I think step 2, figure out who you are, love you. And step 3, figure out your North Star. I'm not just saying find your North Star in terms of what you've been called to do for others, but there should be a healthy amount of time that you spend enjoying your life. I want you to think about your life instead of the life, because that's what you've been thinking about, the life. Now think about your life. Do you want it? What does it take to do it? And then, am I willing to do what it takes to get it?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I believe if you think about it, it is only because somewhere inside of you, you have what it takes. Now, capacity is there. Willingness is something totally different. You wouldn't be watching or listening to if you didn't believe you were great. So you wouldn't be watching, you wouldn't be locked in. Something in your spirit has you tuned into this man because you know you're great. Now you got to say to yourself, am I willing to cooperate with the greatness that's in me? And then once you do, and you start consistently operating in that, you're gonna feel good about it. Here's what you have to do. You have to understand, Andre de Shields, I think, said, the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next.
Wow.
So you get to the top of the mountain, but you understand the GED was just one, the 4th degree was just one, the master's was just, after the PhD was the New York Times. After that, it's the assessments, it's the training, it's the coaching. I'm in masterminds. I get coached, right?
Yep.
And so it's this idea of yesterday's greatness can't be enough because I'm alive today. So if I'm alive today, it must be some more greatness in me. I didn't realize at 12 that I was great. And that's why I say you gotta check in 2025, right? Because I didn't know I was great. And once I checked it and realized how great I was like, bruh, we gonna keep doing this until the day we die. It's in you, and it's time to stop being lazy. And it's time to activate it.
I love that, man.
This is the time to get control of your mind. And for most of us, our mind is in control of us. This is a habit of the greats. Emotional wouldn't let me think rationally. It had me irrational. So I would say when you make emotional decisions, you get emotional consequences.
Yes.
But it takes meditation, it takes controlling of the mind to say, how should I behave? How should I think in this situation? And what's gonna give me the best outcomes?
Yeah.
When it comes to being a leader and a decision maker, we're not doing emotions. We're doing empirical evidence.
Wow.
We're doing facts. What does the facts say? What does the research say? What does the evidence say? Okay, and based on the research and the evidence, this is the game plan. Let's go. It doesn't matter how you feel. Listen to me, coaching is everything. Why? Because think of Michael Jordan without Phil Jackson.
Right.
Think of Venus and Serena without Richard Williams. Like, yo, I just want you to picture Kobe without Phil Jackson. So coaching is critical, and here's what's gonna blow your mind. When you get to our level, you really need more coaching. Because we done exhausted all the stuff. You really need coaching.
After Jordan won his first championship, he didn't say, I think I've got it figured out on my own. I don't need a coach. He said, let me find Tim to train me. Let me find the mindset coach, the recovery coach, make sure we're getting to the next level.
They said that LeBron, look at LeBron, what he's doing right now.
Oh, it's amazing, man.
Bro, let me tell you something.
At 40, checking dunking on 20-year-olds.
Whoever had the arguments, you know what I'm saying? Because there were those of us who was alive.
Yeah.
We watched Jordan do his thing. But bro, what LeBron is doing right now, but when I do my research and not emotional about, oh, how is he doing it? Just, hey, no, when I do my research, he's spending 1.5 million on his body and recovery coaching. And so you see the decision he made and you see, okay, yeah, he was great. But that investment that he made in himself, these decisions are based on facts of experts, and then we're seeing the outcomes of it.
Yeah.
And so from 16 to maybe 25, it was like, okay, I'm gonna come to coaching some days I'm not, some days I'm going in, some days I'm not. And then my son was born. I was almost 25 years old, Jalen was born. And Jalen was born in 1995. And when Jalen was born, it was the day coach said to me, this is why I've been trying to train you. Because I wanted you to be the best father you could be.
Yeah.
And so you miss some classes, you miss some lessons. Your son is here now. He needs the best version of you.
Wow.
We can't repeat the mistakes of the past. And so I need you to hurry up. And so when Jalen was born, from that day forward, I remember when he was born, I held him. And it was kind of like he looked at me like, you the person that's gonna take care of me?
Wow.
And that was the day. And this is what a lot of you are running from. It's the R word. And I get it because it's tough. Responsibility.
Ooh.
That was the day where it's like, you got to be responsible for somebody else.
Yeah.
You cannot. I've never played a video game since Jalen was born.
Wow.
I've read more books since Jalen was born. That first year or two that I ever read in my life. I took my career serious in speaking. I went deep. I went heavy. And I read everything. I was in the library like an addict, just studying and studying and studying. And it was because I didn't want some of the consequences of the past to come in this generation, And so for me, it was like, your son's here, you got to handle your business. And I just heard, I was more attentive. I started getting up at 6, and then I'd play this game. Daylight saving times would come. I would, say, don't follow it. Stay up at 5 is the new, and then the next year to 4, and then I got started getting up at 3, and I started getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning because it was still. There was no dogs outside, nobody was driving around, the family was asleep, and I was like, okay, coach, I'm sorry. Let's go back over the lessons I didn't get, and let's go over the new lessons. Like, coach me.
You alluded a little bit about, this version of you is kind of speaking to your 16-year-old self and saying like, here's what you need to do. Stop doing that, start doing this. Like, whether that was you in the future or God speaking to you
in the future,
like, hey, this is what your higher self needs you to do right now. What do you feel like your future self is saying to you now for the wisdom you need to hear to take you to the next
This. You spent all of your mature life pouring into people who can't do a whole lot for you. You spent some kind of way in your soul, you feel like, because of where you were and all these people that helped you get to where, so it's like you feel like you owe people to not be in mutual relationships. Like you feel like you're so blessed and you have so much. It's almost a survivor guilt that now you just gotta be with people who you gotta pull, and you gotta be with people that you got to beg to, and you gotta be with people who you just gotta bless, and you may not get nothing back. You're like, no. In this season, these relationships have always been there for you. But you haven't taken advantage of them because it's like, I gotta help and I gotta fix and I gotta help you, help you because somebody helped me. But you had to want it. You're helping people that don't even want to be helped. They want a handout. They don't want to be helped. Now, the rest of your life, son, be in relationships where it's mutual.
Receive.
Get in these mutual relationships and get some